fellas. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, brother, old guy, hip hop news uncensored, Sandman. You know, viral hip hop news.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, sir. We in the building, man.
We are in the building. It's been a long time coming.
Let me ask you guys the first question.
What up?
Why are you having them different color curtains in the back right there?
Well, see, actually, if you really want to know, if I'm being honest, this is my mother's home.
Okay.
And this was originally our grandparents' home. So this has a real significant meaning to us. It made sense as being cousins and family to only do it right here where we grew up, where all of this started. So the ensemble you see here is courtesy of my mother.
Okay. Okay. I
You
just
like the
wanted to know.
drapes?
And what's those two plaques on the side, the writings on the wall?
Go ahead, you can read that one.
It says, may we never lose our wonder, Matthew 18:3.
And on the right side, it says, you see the depths of my heart and you love me the same, Psalms 139:23.
So that's out of the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is you sure it's the Bible?
According to my mother, it is. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I don't really know the Bible, but when you said Matthew something, only motherfucker I know that says Matthew is a nigga in the Bible.
Yeah, both of them, I think they belong there. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just asking.
It's my mother. Like I said, it's my mother's home. Mine is decorated a little different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Now, what kind of wood polish you use on that desk?
Say that again.
The table right there?
Yeah.
What kind of do y'all use Pledge?
Mom, you use Pledge? She said she uses fucking Windex.
I just wanted to do something different, y'all. Forgive me.
I use fucking Windex.
No doubt.
She would come over here and say something to you right now, but her hair is wrapped up. She's ready to cook dinner, so yeah, you got to get mom.
That's the kind of women I like, yo. Tell her so. I'm gonna see your mom.
My mom is not coming over here right now. She don't play that shit.
Come over, y'all.
She a woman from DC, hardcore. And my mother, the kind of woman that she'll take your girl if you feel me. She's one of those. She'll take your woman.
Oh, I like that. Oh,
she'll
take your girl.
Yeah, she don't play no games. My mother's gangster.
She gonna get stabbed there. She gonna
No doubt, man. Okay. Yeah. Now that we got the preliminaries out of the way.
Now that we knocked the bugs out, man. It's good to have you on here, brother, man. So we initially got introduced to you, I mean, reaching out to you on IG, and you were a real down brother. You introduced us, you know what I mean? You talked to us, schooled us on the game where you really didn't have to. We appreciated it. But most importantly, you introduced us to Gangsta Conversation. Mm-hmm. Talk about the album, brother.
Well, Gangsta Conversation is a journey, I guess, over the years that's based on young men, young women who truly needs to hear what's out there, because don't disrespect, people use the Bible and people don't respect religion no more. It's like our morals and everything is just everywhere. Like back in the day, you had morals and people don't have morals anymore. So Gangsta Conversation is to really tell people how to get their lives together through comedy. It's like being like street ministry in a sense. So I'm going to make you laugh, but I'm going to make you think at the same time. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings, because I'm truly on my own mission in a way to better people through pain and laughter, to make you aware of what you're going and your consequences about chasing ass, about nothing in these women and you ain't got your life together, about women sleeping with men and you have nothing to offer a man. And that once you get this process in your head, you could teach other people. So one person at a time, then it grows from there. So I'm just planting seeds.
Dope. Now you introduced us to Walking in the Rain, the single on Gangsta Conversation, the comedy album. Talk about the album a little bit and what kind of motivated you to have a comedy album. Now I kind of looked you up on Tidal and Spotify and things like that. This isn't your first go around with music and albums like this, but this is your first, in my opinion, like real push toward an album. So talk about the motivation behind the album.
Well, the motivation is I came out with something years ago in the 90s with Relativity Records. Me and Bone Thugs and Harmony, and me and Eazy-E was getting ready to start this thing called Ruthless Comedy. But, you know, Eazy died in 93 or 94. And so that was my opportunity. Then I was going to fuck with Puff and doing some comedy shit. But Puff started the Bad Boys of Comedy, but by that time I had already robbed them already with a credit card. And that fucked up our situation, our journey there. Then I was going to start something with 50 Cent, G's of Comedy. But his manager at the time, Chris Lighty, had took a long time, a year, to sign the deal with William Morris. By the time he signed it, I told him no because I didn't want to wait that long. But I already had saw the decline of 50 Cent's career at that time, and he was just too big. Then when I got with Cash Money and Baby and them, Baby and them was just too big to see what I was doing. So I really had to wait until I got my own thing. So the game changed. You see how you guys are having your own radio show now, and you're basically a TV show. Well, that changed. You couldn't have this in the 90s. Everybody didn't have their own thing because we didn't have the technology, the know-how to do what you guys are doing now. So now that you're doing it, so I have my own record label now. And when I put out my first album last year, Who Raised You, it went #9 on Billboard. So I wanted to know who the fuck was the other 8 people who beat me. Because I said, I know that album was fire. So I wanted to know what it was. And when I saw it, I said it was people with music. You know, it was Garth Brooks and people who ain't really stand-up comedians who I guess was bullshit in the studio, put something together and put that in the comedy division. So that irritated me. So since I had made this song, Walking in the Rain, years ago, I said, I was bringing this shit out of the files, hooked up with XXX, had him put him on there, just one thing, because I didn't really know him. So I recorded him over the phone, dropped him in the thing. He's also in the premiere of the video Walk in the Rain when we air it on October 26th in New York City. And the goal here is to have the #1 comedy album in the country. So that was my motivation. Everything I do, I always try to be a winner at it. So I'm a rocket, and once it's done, I'm already in pre-production already for the new album for next year called T to the motherfucking K. That's the name of the next album.
Word. Uncensored Truth Podcast sound dope on that album, that motherfucking album. I think that sounds good, brother. Seeing as though you gave us one of the first releases or sneak peeks to Walking in the Rain, man. We appreciate that.
Yes.
I mean, that was some gangster shit. We definitely appreciate that. Talk about XXX a little bit. I know you were talking about you really didn't know him too much. Talk about that brief interaction and how that came about.
Well, I know his team. I know Travis, his manager Manning, and we were supposed to be putting a tour together. And then when we got down to Miami, I was shooting my Netflix special, and it just so happened that the young man was there, and that motherfucker was like, "Yo, TK Kirkland, T to the motherfucking K." So we chopped it up, we talked. He was a fan. I was like, "Oh shit!" So his management wanted me to be his mentor because they felt that I was so well respected that he needed my help, and we was in the process of that, and me mentoring him would have never helped him get in his situation with the killers. It's just that I wish that the guys who robbed him would have just took the bag. They didn't have to shoot him. So when they shot him, that just really some hate because you could just took the bag. They ain't have to kill him. So it was a situation where I felt bad that I didn't spend more time with him, and that's what this business has done to me. I try to get in touch with everybody if I can, but I'm so busy. That also happened with my man Tax, Taxstone too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we first started, he had did my radio interview for me when I first started. He was like my second one that I interviewed, and I just didn't know his history. I didn't follow his show like that, and I wish I'd have followed his show because his situation of him hating that kid on Troy Ave. He listened to me. I was like, yo, let that motherfucker, whether you think he's funny or whether he can rap or he can't rap, it's no business of yours, just focus on your lane. If you ever listen to our interviews, you'll hear us talking about going to London together. Me and him supposed to do a show together in London.
Wow.
And it just never came through. So those two things that happened in me starting this podcast thing that I regret.
Word. Now you talked about being a mentor and XXX's representatives reaching out to you as a mentor. Now, I don't know if you've seen recently, because I know you're busy, man, you're traveling a lot. What happened with the BET Cypher and Young Vic Mensa? Now, it came out that he pre-recorded the BET cipher, and he had some real disparaging things to say about XXX, especially in regard to the whole domestic violence dispute.
Right.
He had some things on Twitter thrown his way, and then he dropped a statement on the IG. I don't know if you saw that, but talk about that as far as XXX and domestic violence, and then what Vic Mensa in the cipher. Talk about your thoughts on that.
See, the thing about domestic violence is that sometimes there's a thing called unforeseen occurrences. You could be the flyest nigga on earth, yo, and not even give a fuck about a bitch, but because of the way the sun was hitting your ass that day, or the way you had a sandwich, or what kind of meat you had, or you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, can have you choking a motherfucker. You know, so domestic violence is a bad thing, but you have to avoid domestic violence. My daughter's mother, who cheated on me years ago, she, when she used to tell the story about me beating her ass, and I didn't beat her ass, I smacked her. But I'm coming from a flight, I'm in a car, I'm driving down the highway. I bought her a new car every year. She had everything from Range Rovers to Cadillac Escalades. And I'm on the highway. I see this truck behind me. Matter of fact, I'm on the phone with 50 Cent and William Morris that same day. I see the truck. I said, damn, that motherfucking truck shot. I'm not knowing it's her. She pulls up on side of me. It's her and another nigga in the car that I bought her. So we go on a high speed chase. The nigga runs so fast, I thought I was in the Olympics watching Carl Lewis win the But my point is, I smacked her, and I caught a serious case behind that because they said I carjacked her. You know, white people, cops gonna put extra on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fight a carjacking case. I had to fight domestic violence. I had to go to school for domestic violence classes. I had to pay a fine. I had to do restitution. I had to do work release, 5 things, but I accomplished all of it. But the jails are full with men and women for domestic violence. My goal to men to understand is sometimes you just gotta have sex and go on about your business instead of falling in love, because half the niggas out here in the world are not qualified to be fucking anyway. We all got dicks, right? But you ain't got an apartment, you ain't got a nice car, you ain't got no money in the bank. You can't take a bitch on a trip. You can't buy no shoes. You can't buy a nice watch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So until you get that shit together, you gotta travel and get your cake up. And women too, they got to bring something to the table, because everybody want to settle down at 23, 24, talk about you fucking in love, dumb motherfuckers, and you ain't got shit. So I want men and women to avoid domestic violence, because you're too young to fall in love. You're too young to really date, because you, like I said again, you're not qualified. You gotta be qualified to be in a relationship. Just like when you want a nice car, you walk down the street, see a Maserati. Well, guess what? You ain't getting in that motherfucker unless you got the paperwork or good credit. You got to qualify. You see a nice house, like, damn, that's a nice house. Well, guess what? You can't walk up in that bitch and just take ownership. And just like with a female and a female with a nigga, if you really want some quality motherfuckers, you got to be qualified. Yeah, you get a bitch off the corner around the street that work at Subway and on Walmart. Not that anything's wrong with that, but when you fuck with somebody that's not a certain status in life and you're struggling, yeah, you can fall in love and strive hard to achieve shit. My goal is to prevent people from getting into that situation.
Yeah. Brother TK, I want to ask you about. I heard you on Vlad TV. You was kind of getting into the podcast, the game and how you got started in that. And Taxstone, before he was locked up, he was one of the top, podcasters out there. I was actually listening to him, when he brought Meek Mill on, and that was one of my favorite shows right there. So, what do you think about, because in the Vlad interview, I wanted it to go long. I wanted you to expound more on that, So, could you speak on, the podcast game right now, and how people can get into it, like us and other people who are young and hungry out there?
Well, the thing what people don't know about the podcast business is anybody can have one, but can you make money having one? Everybody don't know the knowledge and the history of the podcast. What you got to know to get the paper. You got to know what type of numbers you got to have for downloads, which has got to be 10,000. You have to have over 80,000 unit subscribers. You got to have 80,000 people subscribe. Once you have those numbers, your salary can go. You can start making money from 150,000 to 200,000 a year because advertisers want to advertise on your show for commercials. And that's the thing now. People have to promote. They got to get out there and bust your ass, advertisement, and talk about your shows. But if people could pull this together, think about it. You could work a regular job, come home, and get like how you're doing now and make the money.
Mm-hmm.
I just got lucky in my situation. My situation was they had me on the Breakfast Club. The numbers were so high that as soon as I got up the air, like a couple days later, they was like, "Yo, can you do this?" I made them wait a year because I ain't want to do that shit. I'm a busy dude. Like, I'll tell you straight up. I'm like, I ain't doing that corny shit. All that shit to me, y'all doing like it was corny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I even said the shit was an iPod. I didn't even know how to pronounce the shit. I still don't know how to pronounce it sometimes. You know, sometimes I say pod. I think it's pod. Sometimes I say iPod, and it's that's what I was calling it at first, iPod.
It's funny you say that. Now, do you think because of that it's a YouTube podcast in particular don't get taken as seriously as some of the podcasts that maybe transition into iTunes and things like that? Why don't you see a transition when it comes to YouTube podcasts as opposed to your traditional iTunes and things like that and the audio podcast?
I think everything, if you start now, eventually it's going to cross over. That's the thing. Some things don't blow up right away. It has to grow. But what you guys are doing now, you may not see the results that you want now, but if you do this and stay at this game 10, 12 years, I know that sounds long, but 10, 12 years is going to come whether you doing this or not. It's going to come. And you stay on your game, eventually you're going to hit the home run and get the money that you deserve. It's just that nothing comes easy, you know?
Definitely.
Facts. Fact. Okay.
Well, I mean, you definitely, in the short time that you've been up, oh God, Hip Hop News Uncensored, sitting at over 380,000 subscribers and doing the numbers we do in a short time we're doing it is very humbling. But like Brother TK said, like you said, man, this is a grind. We can't expect something tomorrow. Can't expect something next week. This consistency is what matters in this situation.
Yeah, and let me explain to you what I mean. When you say you had 380,000 subscribers for YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you got to have 80,000 subscribe to your podcast. Is different,
right?
And I just want to let you know that so the people who are listening, it's
right.
Not.
It's a different.
You got 1 million YouTube, but they don't give a fuck. You got to have 80,000
actually at the pod that subscribe to the actual podcast. I figured that.
Right. Yeah,
definitely.
Gotta have.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, definitely. So I want to talk about Sam Mann was actually telling me, I didn't even know this. He said you broke a few comedians, like you brought Mike Epps, and I think who was the other brother you said that he brought?
You Godfrey. You broke Godfrey in and list the line.
D.L. Hughley and J.J. Williams. Oh man, the list is long, bro.
How did you get into that breaking talent and breaking comics and things like that?
Well, when I started out with NWA, my comedy was so raw that people didn't really understand my comedy in the 80s because I was hitting them motherfuckers hard with my shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then there was a guy who called me named Bob Sumner and Tina Graham, and they was the talent coordinators for Def Jam. And I was the first person that they called to do Def Jam. And I turned it down. I turned it down because at that time, in 91, I also had a special coming out called Mo Funny. Mo Funny was a documentary of rising comedians, but also comedians who was already official. Miles Mabley, Richard Pryor. I was the next voice of reason for that particular clip. So when I saw that people didn't really understand my set, the time I had a plan. The plan was to get Mike Epps. I saw him. I was putting a team together. I was getting Godfrey. I was getting JJ. Then I had Anthony Michael Hall, the white actor. I had John Leguizamo. I had Sandra Bullock. Now, with all these people, there's two other guys that was with me, Tommy Testero and David Klingman. They was two white guys. I was a black guy, but I was a street hustler. So I was catching cases, getting money, and all that kind of shit. So I had to stay quiet on my journey through that time, so I wouldn't embarrass the company, because I was still trying to find myself. I guess I look back now, I'm quite sure that's what it was, and so I was just putting people together, but then everybody had their own agenda. I had to let Mike Epps go because he had a little situation, personal demons that he was dealing with. Michael Hall wasn't taking things real seriously. Sandra Bullock had got real good, and I was making a lot of money with her. But then when her mom died, it changed everything because her father got in her ear, wanted to manage her. He felt like he could do a better job. Then we had to sue her, for the rest of our money, because we had 3 other movies I think was coming out after that. And then the rest is history. So Tommy Chester, my other partner, he passed away this year. David Klingman is still alive. So then I just started to really focus on me and doing more stand up. And again, social media is what brought everybody to find me, because I've been around a long time, but more
Mm-hmm.
people know about me now than ever before because of podcasts, because of people like you, because of the Breakfast Club, Brilliant Idiots, Lip Service, etc. So I'm glad that I'm getting opportunity to do what I need to do, but I miss stealing Kit Kats sometimes from Walmart. You know,
No.
I used to walk in there and eat Kit Kats and eat chicken wings while I was shopping, because I used to tell people that, I was, you can, when you shop, you're hungry, so I
Right.
gotta eat to have strength to go down them aisles. So I don't do that no more.
Well, you a Jersey cat, right? You moved from Jersey and what to Cali, I believe. What's your story?
Yeah, I went from Jersey City to Arizona State. I was on a scholarship, track and field. Then I went to California, and then I got my master's degree. And I was just really going through something in the 80s. I was robbing banks and shit, and
Mm.
just doing. But I wasn't rolling with no gang. It was just me. I was just doing shit. I was
Mhm.
hustling. My family is out of Philadelphia, so Junior Mafia. We was out here doing. I was a college kid, but really was really really getting money. Still trying to find myself at the same time, and after after I went through all my lessons, I had the character that was needed to survive. And people used to always not hate on my name because I was still a talented comedian. So when you're a talented comedian, people always gonna throw shade on your name, like, yo, he did this, he did that. And I'm glad I was able to get on the Breakfast Club to really be the first to tell people about that story, about me robbing Suge Knight, about me robbing Puffy, about me robbing Eddie Murphy, that you could hear from my side and to know that it was done when I was 19, 20 something years old. Most of you guys wasn't even born in 85, 83, 82, 91. How old was you guys in 91, 92?
I was like
I
6.
was 9.
Right. So this happened when you were 6 and 9 years old, fellas.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that's why you're not recognized as one of the elite comics today? Because I mean, oh God and I, our comic bag is deep. Like we appreciate the ones that don't get recognized, the Lavelle Crawfords, the Godfreys, the Corey Holcombs. I love all of those. The people that really don't get recognized. And when I think of TK Kirkland, I think of one of the funniest motherfuckers out in the game. But
Definitely, easily.
you see Kevin Hart's and the Katt Williams and
Yeah, but everybody knows that I'm really that guy. It's based on your mindset. My mindset is that I don't have to be certified to know that. Like, I got a great living, and like I said, if people do the kind of man I am, what I was worth, and how I move, they would be really blown away. But I'm really from that old cloth where we move in silence. We don't have to be on Instagram or any type of social media showing money, showing cars, showing your house. I mean, I live very, very comfortable. Like, even back in the day when DL used to come to my house, they was blown away in the 80s about how I was living. So I'm one of the guys, I'm one of the best who ever did and got away with it. I just really stay low key and do what I need to do and not get caught up in the childish behavior that's out here in the world now with hating, going back and forth, talking about each other, being petty. I really want to be a man's man for you young guys. Let you know you can be a man out here in this world. You ain't gotta be no soft nigga. You ain't gotta move in with no female. You really got to have your shit together, have your mindset right, leave generational wealth for your children, and really really know something about yourself. Own property. Like a lot of people, y'all don't own. A lot of us, Afro American, we don't own property, yo. We don't own shit. So I want to teach people how to own property and have a good head on your shoulders. And fuck different women in Italy. You guys ain't never had pussy in Italy. I'm looking at you. You know, you ain't never had pussy in Germany. You know,
not yet.
I'm looking at you. You know, looking at your skin tone. You're getting local pussy and shit. You know,
That's funny.
Yeah,
oh,
man. TK, man, kind of switch it up a little bit, man. I want to ask you about, something that's been in the news, lately. We all seen the Bill Cosby, verdict, and it kind of, because he's like 81 years old now. So, a guy who does my SEO, brother Darren from my website, it said it kind of hit him hard because he said he structured his whole family, after, the Cosby show, and then, the Different World and all the stuff that came. It was like the black family structure was intact. The lawyer, everybody was successful. What does it mean for you to see Bill Cosby go down like he went down and now, currently in the media? What do you think about that whole situation?
Well, it goes to show you about karma. It goes to show you that you can't be out here fronting, saying one thing, and your life is not what you preaching. That can hurt if you're not who you say you really are. Do I feel sorry for Bill Cosby? No. I just hope somebody can get in his ear. And I really want Bill Cosby to embrace being in prison. What I mean by embrace, see that in life, what people don't understand is that you have to play the hand that you're dealt. If you're successful, you play that hand. If you're poor, you play that hand. If you go to jail, you play that hand. Play that hand is Bill Cosby being locked up. He got a lot of money. If he start putting shit on people's books, breaking the CO's shit, having people stick cell phones in for him to really do his thing, he can ride through this shit in a peaceful way. But I don't know if he got any game in him to pull that off because he might be a square. Two, what people never really talk about: one, he should have never cheated on his wife, and three, right, with all this fucking that Bill Cosby was doing, Camille had to know about it. I think Camille was in on it.
Probably.
Nigga, that last bitch, that last girl that he went to jail court with, she said that shit happened at the house. Where the fuck was Camille?
Yeah, I mean,
nobody's talking about that.
Right.
Where the fuck was Camille? So Bill Cosby is a situation of how everything is a facade in life. And what I mean by that is man created religion. Man created that Christopher Columbus found America, and we realized that's a lie. We are finding things out about the world that all these years, everything has been a lie. I mean, even when we was kids, like about this fucking Santa Claus.
Nice.
Fucking Bugs Bunny and
Tooth Fairy, right?
All that kind of shit. Like everything has been a lie. Like everything's a lie. So all you got is you and what's in your mind and your thoughts. And if you just do the right thing and work hard and take the time to pray to a spiritual thing out here, that you can really have peace, because you don't have to go to church to find God, because church, all they do is sell you hope and pray that there's a heaven after you leave here. That's all they do. But some got your back, but the majority of them are robbing you. Then you got the other Catholic churches was fucking them boys all through the 40s and everything. That shit came out. I mean, come on, man. It's a sad game out here, but you still can win at it. You just gotta instill good morals in your life. I mean, think about it, yo. We live in a world that we know OJ killed the bitch, and we still take pictures with OJ. Like back in the day, when you was a murderer and you killed somebody, you would never take a picture with it. That motherfucker was taboo. When Suge came out of jail the first time, everybody taking pictures with Suge. We didn't have any morals or high self-esteem. Like, you can't be seen with that. Just like, we go on Instagram, we see these bitches and guys flying in different. Like, come on, you would never fuck with that type of girl. They're good to look at, but you ain't gonna bring them to see your mom. That's what I mean. I can get deep all day, y'all.
That's a fact. Now, I mean, that karma is definitely, I think, a lot. I think we said that on the podcast numerous times when it came to Bill or Mr. Cosby, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
That, I mean, we all praised him as Mr. Huxtable, but Bill and Cosby's a whole different life.
He admitted to it.
He admitted to it.
Yeah.
Talk about his treatment, though, being registered as I don't know if it was a sex offender or something they kind of threw on his title and stuff.
They got him as a violent sex offender.
You feel me? So do you think that all of that is warranted behind? Do you think that even though, he might have drugged it, or even talk about that a little bit, TK, the drug culture back then, do you think that he committed a crime in your opinion?
Yeah, it was a crime, yo.
Word.
It was a crime. It's crimes on so many levels. It's a crime that he did that because he could have just said Jello pudding pops to a bitch and got some pussy, right?
Yeah.
True. The women of this world got to know that when something happens to them, they got to take it to the police that moment, that day. Not next week, not next month, not 35, 45 years later. Society, I don't know what. I don't know what has happened to society, but you can go 35 years back and try to fuck up a man's life. If I stuck my dick in you and I was wrong 40 years and we all went on to better our lives, and you see now that I'm successful and I'm trying to better myself, don't try to bring me down for a mistake I made when I was a youngster. We all was somebody different 30, 40, 15 years ago. And people learn and become better. But I want women that if they ever have an issue, to go to the police immediately. You got to go immediately, not wait. Not wait. I just really believe that.
Definitely on that. All right, let's transition a little bit from Bill Cosby back to comedy, man, because there's so much also going on in the comedy world. You see Katt Williams coming at Cav going on the Breakfast Club, talking about Mike and all this, and then Katt unfortunately getting arrested, man. What's your take on all this that's going on right now?
Well, they're kids. I'm grown, so when I see kids playing, I really don't have an opinion. I let kids do what they do. I don't get caught up and bring my intellectual level to a level of immaturity and incompetence. So when I look at it, I don't really have an opinion on them. I just watch them, and I really want all of them to understand that we all are a fraternity, and that we should all try to help each other get to the next level if we can, instead of just like, in this world, people can take things the wrong way. Just like when 4 years ago I said Kevin Hart wasn't funny, but he was a nice guy, and people took just the part that he wasn't funny and all this kind of stuff. But I really like Kevin. Like, Kevin is my man. And it's just that the news took the thing a whole nother level. But comedy is a fraternity to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
one of the great examples of how the role in this comedy game is how Keenan Ivory Wayans takes care of his brothers and sisters. See, I seen that when he started, and all of them, he takes care of all his family members. And that's the way the comedy world should be. It should be, if you close to someone and someone can help you get an extra dollar or get your part, this is what we should do for each other. So when the media takes that about Kevin, Mike, and all that, we live in a world though you really don't know what to do. But hey, if anybody can hear this, let's try to change the game a little bit and really start looking out and helping people become better comedians and better people, period.
Right. Yeah, so Kevin Hart, though, the Kevin Hart situation, what makes you say that he's not funny? Because I actually feel the same way. My question is, though, how does somebody get to where he gets without being funny, though?
Well, it's not that. he worked hard. Don't get it wrong. He is funny to a certain extent. It's catching up to him because he's not marketing himself right. He's coming out every year doing comedy. He's only 39 years old. To be a great comedian, you have to have life experiences. You have to go through life, and every other year, every 2 years, you come out. You do your movies, but then stand up comedy. You wait 2 years before you come back on the road, and you experience things, and you write stuff down. That way, when you come out, you have a lot to say. You have a lot to talk about. The comedians back in the day, like let's take Richard Pryor for instance. He'll go disappear for a minute, run down the street, caught on fire, and they say, this nigga going on tour, and everybody come to see him because they want to see what he gonna talk about. You know what I mean? So Kevin is a great businessman. He may not be funny like consistently, but if he keeps working hard at it, when he starts getting in his 40s, 50s, yeah, it'll catch up and he'll be good.
I want to ask you about the comedians and actors, putting on a dress, because we see a lot of people, to me, that right there is a no-no. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect you after a man puts on a dress for no amount of money. So what is your perspective on that? Because like a few years back, you seem like you're pretty, conscious individuals, like a big, a lot of these videos that came out on the internet about, these rituals that people got to go through and then wearing the dress and everything. What's your perspective on that whole thing?
Well, a lot of actors, black actors, are not conscious of who they are as black men in society. When you're a black man, you got to know that you represent every street nigga, every black person you represent. That's like I would never do no shit like that because I'm in the streets and I can see it now. If I put a skirt on and I'm at a comedy show one day, these niggas will have a field day on.
Yeah.
So it's wrong. It's wrong. It's just me. But everything is based on individual journey, what their journey is. Meaning, some guys don't give a fuck, yo. They're not conscious of who they are and who they represent. I am. So, to answer that more directly, fuck them. If that's what they want to do, fuck it. My personal opinion, I wouldn't do it.
Right. At your comedy, doing your routines, is there anything that's off limits for you to talk about? And have you ever been reprimanded by any group of people for saying something maybe like homosexual, Jews, whatever, a group of people? Have anybody ever gave you any backlash for something you said at like a show?
Because I think everything is funny. Like if you make it funny, nobody's gonna fuck with you. But if you say a joke and it's not funny, people will get you in your ass. Like I talk about gay people. I talk about gay people. Like when I was coming up, gay people, I said I'm not against gay people. I kind of like it. My brother was gay, but gay people back in the day came out at 12:05 in the morning and was back in the house at 6:30 in the morning. These motherfuckers walking amongst us now. They wearing dresses, they wearing pumps, and you can't really say nothing to these niggas no more because these niggas bigger than me. They're bigger than you. You can punk these motherfuckers like, nigga, what the fuck? And they run down the street. Oh my God. They're gonna get us.
Yeah.
Not now, nigga. These niggas will beat your motherfucking ass. So we have let the shift of the culture change. And all I want to do is bring back, before I leave this earth, that real niggas exist. Real men are out here, can do entertainment, can do comedy, can be a businessman. Nigga, that's what I want to be known for. A nigga tatted up. Had a lot of money, didn't know it. He stayed low key, wore the hat to the side. The nigga smelled good. He tried to help people. Bitches loved him. He got a lot of pussy over in Italy, around the world. That's what I want to be known for, dog. I want to be known that nigga was smooth.
Yeah.
T to the motherfucker. That nigga had. I want to be known. I always had a bad bitch breathing on me. That's the kind of nigga. That nigga always kept a bad bitch breathing on him. That's me.
That's funny as hell, man. You talk about real dudes, my bad. Being talking about Katt Williams. Now he's recognized, I guess, in the streets, you would say, in the social media community or whatever, as being a real dude, the real comic. You know what I mean? Talk about Katt Williams a little bit and the trouble that he's going through And I know you guys are friends, so just talk about Katt a little bit.
Yeah, but Katt is a nice guy. Katt ain't no real street nigga. Katt's from Ohio. He ain't no street nigga. Katt got in trouble when he started doing comedy. He got rich. And when people get money, sometimes they don't know how to control. It's like sometimes hitting the lottery, and you wasn't really born to be successful. You don't know how to control your fame. Katt is just a gentleman who I really hope he finds himself, because he shouldn't be in the spotlight for trouble. You know, he is in and out. And I tell you a story about spirituality. God gives you so many chances until you get it right. And then when he see that you don't want to take it serious no more, he'll take it away from you. He'll take it like, okay, I see you playing around so much, you didn't get it. And he'll do something bad to you. I've seen it in my lifetime. You know, and examples I tell people, take Whitney Houston, take Michael Jackson, a couple white singers that had drug issues. God will he'll lock you up. He'll send you to rehab. But if you don't get it together, he'll take you from this place called Earth and take that talent and place it somewhere else. So to the people listening to this, you really have to understand that God really do give you an opportunity. And I just hope that one day, see, because Katt will die, and then all of a sudden people are going to say, oh, he should have asked for help. I could have helped him and all this kind of shit. But nobody thinks like that.
Is it like because I always, every time we do a story, a news story, or post a video on Katt Williams, a lot of people say he's being targeted. They trying to come after him because of some of the stuff that he exposed back in the day. We all know the videos, So is there any truth to that? Any truth to that?
That's elementary thinking. Ain't nobody targeting that nigga. I get tired of hearing that shit. Ain't nobody targeting that nigga. That nigga ain't like that. The fuck they mean targeting? See, that's the thing about the world. Ain't nobody targeting no motherfucking Katt Williams. He ain't no mafioso. He ain't no nigga that could change the world. He's just a comedian doing his thing. He got blessed. And hey, I hope he continues making money because he's a talented comedian. It's just that he got to stop the nonsense that could fuck up his life and send him to an early grave or a long-term jail sentence.
Right. What do you think about a few months ago the Monique and Netflix situation came out, about her, speaking about that she thought that they should give her, what she was worth. I think they offered her something, but it wasn't what she wanted. What do you think about that whole situation with Monique?
I think it's great. That's what she wanted. If she felt that was wrong, every man and woman, nobody should be able to tell another motherfucker what kind of money they should be getting. No man or woman. If you feel like a nigga should give you $8 million, nigga, go get that motherfucker $8 million. But if somebody offered you 500,000, if you say no, you say no. But you don't go to social media and tell your business because you know what? In social media, nobody gives a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Nobody cares. Oh, bitch, you tripping about 500,000? I'm out here making $9 an hour. Bitch, kiss my motherfucking ass. So we have a problem of going to social media to tell our business, and don't nobody give a fuck.
Facts. I just wanted this transition now, man, to talk. Your time is very limited, very busy, brother. Talk about your future and some of the things you have coming up, in the future that people can look forward to.
Well, I'm looking forward to the album, October 26th. I'm looking for that going #1. I'm already working on a new album for next year called T to the motherfucking K. That's gonna be an awesome thing too. And my goal is just to drop an album and a special every year. Now the special should have been out, but my attorney had to change lawyer. He changed firms, right? David Chadico. He changed firms. So I pushed the video, the stand up back because I was gonna drop everything all at the same time, October 26th. So what I'm gonna do now is drop the album first, October 26th, come back around, do media again the top of the year, like February, March with you guys, Breakfast Club, everybody around the world, to start talking about the special. Then from the special, another 3 or 4 months, then we'll talk about the book, I Apologize. And I'm going to keep doing that for the next 10, 12 years. But then I'm start writing 2 movies, and I want to direct 3 movies between now and the next 10 years.
Dope.
Yeah, I got one more question before we get out of here, TK. Like I said, I know you're busy. Lil Wayne, man. Talk about Lil Wayne real quick. The Carter 5 release. You know what I mean? We know that was a dope album. Talk about the album real quick, and then talk about what the recent allegations with Birdman, if you don't mind, and the whole shooting situation.
Well, that's an interesting situation for real, because Baby is a good friend of mine. Lil Wayne's a good friend of mine. The condemnation they got is fucking extremely unique, because I've never seen two people suing each other and hang out with each other at the same time. I actually seen
right.
Like even when they did my special for me, we was all together. Like it was me, Lil Wayne, Baby, XXX, all of us was together that same night. So I thought that was weird that we all live in VIP, and Lil Wayne was right there next to Baby. And I was like, wow, but I like the fact that you keep your enemies close, so to speak. So he got the label, he got the money due to him. He dropped the album, almost sold 500,000 out the gate. Some people didn't like it because they felt it was old, but people got to remember that he recorded an album 5 years ago, and he still put it out. And I'm quite sure the next album he dropped should be pretty good. But I've known Lil Wayne since he was a kid, because we did baller blocking together. And I knew him since he was 16 years old. So me and him are real good friends. And I love him. And the thing about Baby too, like they all show me mad love. I remember being in Miami. I was walking down the street. They was in their Rolls Royces. I was with my son. Them niggas stopped the car, got out, and we then talked for like an hour outside in Miami. And I just thought that was really cool.
Dope.
Awesome, man. So everybody know where they can find you at, man. Your IG, Twitter, real quick. How can they find you, man?
The IG is TK_Kirkland. Twitter is also TK_Kirkland. To everybody listening, I know y'all always think you should, when you hear a comedian, you used to tell jokes, but I believe in being at the right place at the right time. To see me tell jokes, you got to come to the show and hear me talk that shit. But on stuff like this, I'm always just that dude. You know, I'm not goofy. I'm not a goofy comedian. I'm not going to be on here telling jokes every other second. That's not the way I move. So I hope that you can appreciate that. But get the album. Comes out October 26th, called Gangsta Conversation. I did the remake of Orange Juice Jones, Walking in the Rain. I always thought that was such a beautiful song, and I'm glad I got Orange Juice on the hook singing it. I'm glad I got XXX in the song. The animated video drops October 26th. We're gonna air it live that night at my show with the Breakfast Club, and you guys, it's also gonna be aired live on that day with Vlad and Baller Alert and World Star. I mean Shade Room and World Star. So the video's definitely gonna do numbers. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Cartoon, right?
Yeah, it's animated. Yeah, it's awesome. That motherfucker fly, y'all.
That joint's dope. Absolutely.
Definitely. Looking forward to it, man. We do appreciate your time, and we do, want to talk business with you, and bringing you out to our area, at some point to do a show. But we'll talk, behind the scenes. Definitely.
Yeah, so we'll talk this week and get ready. Everybody, these guys are gonna be at the show, MCing, going live and showing the show live on their show. This shit gonna be off the chain. That's all I'm gonna say. So,
yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to Roof Chris and have me a nice steak and some champagne, guys.
All right, brother. Enjoy.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
You have to take the leap of faith to step out there and trust the fact that these people, us brothers, myself, Oh God, Darren, Kansu, have lived this journey, have been through these experiences, have been through these trials, have learned and have gained success through the formula that we want and wish to provide for you.